That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me Fuck all that shit, just let me go.
Broadcasting live from the heart of Europe. This is most badass. You can broadcast it on land. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tommy C. This is Shopping the Point. We're doing another Ukraine episode. I've been in contact with something I can only call sources. And I guess this is one of those things. Certainly, I'm not a journalist, but I do have connections. Being in Europe and ex-military, and after I guess I could kind of do it this way with the history of my Ukraine shows. Let's put on my channel here. Let's go check it out, everybody. All right, here's if this show right here was the show critical of Europe and the United States putting us in this position, this show right here with Zelensky was a show of hope. And I got to be honest with you, with what I've learned, I don't have any hope. If you are Ukrainian or you some kind of emotionally invested in this, you might want to turn this off. And I'm not kidding you. So if there's any Ukrainians, and I've had Eastern Europeans reach out to me, and know that I am absolutely on your side, 150%. But what I've learned makes sense to me. Who I've talked to, I trust my life with, and this is going to be if this is probably going to crush a lot of hope. There's nothing in this universe that I would want to be wrong about more than what I'm about to tell you. And I hope you know that. A lot of people that have questioned the war, I think legitimately, have been put in a position where they're traitors or pro-Putin or race supremacists or just a lot of, I'm really going to call all spectrums of it. I'm going to, really, because there are two spectrums. There's the far right idiotic perspective, and there's the establishment left and Republican perspective, which is utterly fucking insane. In fact, there's something I want to queue up from Tucker. Oh yeah, I can queue it up from my own. Because I posted this today. I woke up this morning, and I realized that this for Americans anyway. This is the new January 6th. It's a weapon. So don't buy any of this fucking unity horse shit for Ukraine. The United States is not unified for Ukraine. The United States is doing what they always do. They're trying to gain politically from tragic events. Let no crisis go to waste is really, it's pretty much been like that since Obama's been in office. No crisis go to waste. And it's just disgusting to me to see my country, things like traitor and treacherous being thrown out when questioning authority. Now, I have seen what they're talking about when it comes to Ukraine, but these are minor figures, internet figures, and they're being lumped in with people that are actually asking questions. As for what I've learned and what to expect for the coming days, I've been told that the American military is absolutely shocked and completely in awe of Zelensky and the Ukrainian people for them to be able to hold on like they have so far. They didn't expect it. I mentioned in one of my past episodes, I think it was the last one I did, that Ukraine may have done this on the cheap, or Russia may have done this on the cheap, and they didn't go in the way they were supposed to and maybe try to Because I really wonder if Russia's sort of like Germany in World War II. If they lose a tank's gone. If they lose a tank in the States, we can build 5 other ones. They may not have that option with the GDP not even being close to Texas. Texas has almost doubled their GDP. So once they lose something, it's a lot more devastating than if we lost a plane or a tank in England or the United States. So I wonder, and I've kind of wondered out loud, and it's kind of been confirmed that it appears that Putin tried to do this on the cheap, and it didn't work. And there's other factors, and I'm just going to talk about the main factors. But that's not going to happen this time. One of the key things that I was told, and most of the stuff I'm going to say, you probably could already deduce this from what you're getting in the news. I think it's 100% factual now that Ukraine put up a hell of a fight from its people to its leader, who is the definition and should be in every dictionary in the world of lead by example, if you were ever to look that up. Scrubby, give me a drone, an Xbox controller, a top brake phone, and driving for a month. That's another thing. If you're tuning in to me the first time, we do a comedy show here. It's a lot of goofing, but this military stuff's kind of important to me, and I do take breaks from time to time to cover stuff like this. It's important to me. So if this is your first time here for some reason, this is not the type of show that I normally run. All right, you probably could tell by the arcades in the background. So they are extremely impressed, but one of the things that they found that was missing was tech. Russia simply didn't, and I'm sure it was with the amount of troops they sent in, probably weren't as efficient, but it's the tech that they left out, and they didn't get specific for obviously reasons with me, but I can only assume the tech they mean is the type of tanks. Apparently, the stuff they rolled out there was just not what the American military was expecting. They were expecting a lot more sophisticated stuff, and Russia has these things. But if I had to guess, it's like when, I don't even know this, but the Germans had jet planes before everybody else did in World War II. But Hitler was afraid to fly them out because, they were so expensive. So he definitely tried to do this in the cheap, and, God bless the Ukrainian people, they were able to, kind of hold them off. What I'm being told right now is that is not going to happen in the second round. That they expect to see the type of weaponry that was for some reason left off. Again, I think it's because he tried to do it as cheap as possible. He thought these people were going to roll. And what you're about to see in the coming days, I don't know how soon, because here's what I personally think. This is nothing from what they're going to do is they're going to start battles in the east and then connect to the convoy that's just north of Kiev, which is not even that far out, and literally push them in the sea. When that connects, when that military covers that ground and they actually do start taking over towns and controlling areas, because they've really been unable to do it up to this point. They thought they could do it with a handful of troops and surgical strikes. I think you're going to see more of what you saw in the Gulf War, maybe even Dresden and Baghdad in the early 2000s. It was referred to in the States, if some of you guys are old enough to remember it, as shock and awe. What I think they're going to do is, and it's the smartest way. I mean, I'm not used to being the receiving end of this shit. I'm used to being the guy in the army that our guys do it. They're going to hit Kiev so fucking hard with bombing, it's going to look more like Baghdad. And then through the rubble, the infantry will then come, because you need the infantry to make, if anybody tells you can do it in planes and boats alone and special forces is just nuts. I know that. And I think, due to the fact that, you have TikTok and all these social media things, on those kind of shady websites where you see gory shit, I think you're going to see a lot of it. I think you're going to see, unfortunately, a lot of it. And I think that we're going to be reminded that Russia has a first world army. They try to do it cheap, probably because they don't have, it's typical of Russia throughout history. They don't have the economy, the logistical awareness or abilities that other Western European and United States have. And it's going to be bad. really, really bad. And I think, you know, I think I would expect to wake up one day and hear that Mr. Zelensky is gone. I would expect that. And I don't know how much heart is going to matter at that point. It obviously, the Ukrainian people have hearts jumping out of their chest. I'm in awe myself without having had this chat. But I've just been told that, you know, look, I don't care like what kind of soldier you are or what kind of group you are. If you get hit with a surgical strike from a missile, your body comes apart and you get blown up. It doesn't matter if you're Rambo. It doesn't matter if you're the baddest motherfucker in the end. It doesn't matter if there's a real ghost to Kiev. You know, it doesn't matter. And I think that's what you're probably going to see. And it's probably some of the biggest horrors we've seen, certainly since the Bosnian Wars and maybe even World War II itself. That's what we're looking at. Because Vladimir Putin is a madman that is hell-bent on changing the world order to it being a Russian-Chinese world order. And if he is for some reason not able to pull this off, I think he's going to lose his friend, the Chinese. So there's going to be a hell of a lot of pressure on him. And considering, I don't know if it's true or not, because I taught you guys you can't believe propaganda on both sides, because I see propaganda different than other people. I see it as a weapon. So, like, look, I don't think. Let me give you an example. I'm rooting for the Ukrainians. When Zelensky doesn't go out of his way to say the ghost to Kiev isn't real, I don't care. You know, I mean that's a reporter's job to sort out what's true. And no worry, the Western media won't question anything. I've seen that before. If they're on your side, they're not going to do their job. In this case, I don't necessarily care if they don't. But you know, it's important to know the truth in order to make a judgment. I really don't care if they didn't go out of their way to say those guys on Snake Island weren't killed. And thank God they weren't. That was my first reaction. They're alive. Great. It's still brave what they did. Surrender. Where's the Russian warship? Surrender. Why don't you go fuck yourself? That's still brave to me. It didn't take anything away from it. But I don't think that's going to be enough. If for some reason I'm wrong, I don't even know what to say. I mean, like, it would be a joyous time. Thanks so much, Daniel Cantor. I appreciate it. If for some reason I'm wrong, then that's fucking fantastic. But I don't think that's going to be the case. And I think it's going to get ugly and scary. And I have no faith in our military leaders. I have no faith in our governments.
And that's on Mom.
Thank you, Sarah. I have no faith in any of them. And I think they're going to really they've already showed us after Afghanistan what they're capable of or what they're not capable of. I mean, I'm watching I can only show you this. Like, this is unbelievable. This guy is like he's a pilot. Sam Hyde's our territory, not a congressman. I thought this was legit. I thought this guy was post control. I didn't know he was a congressman when I liked it. We need to check out Jake Hanera, Popular Front. In some coverage I've seen, Herrera has a history of excellent work. So I'll go check that out. Listen to this. This is a United States congressman. And somebody has no excuse. A war pilot. His name is Adam Kinzinger. And he's a Republican. And he's a douche.
Posted images on Twitter of a Ukrainian air ace called the Ghost of Kiev. He downed Russian MiGs left and right. Well, it turns out the whole thing was a hoax, but of course Adam Kinzinger...
Thanks so much, Scrubby. They need like 1776 levels. I don't think that would matter. It's more than that. I'll tell you, Scrubby, they have 1776 levels.
Kinzinger had no idea because he knows nothing. Quote, the Ghost of Kiev has a name, and he has absolutely owned the Russian Air Force, he tweeted. Imagine a sitting member of Congress tweeting about a war like it's a cable news segment. He absolutely owned the Russian Air Force. Really? Get some respect. People are dying, buffoon. Kinzinger then attached an obviously photoshopped image of the comedian Sam Hyde sitting...
See, I thought it was a joke because the Sam... what is that word at the end? Samuyil? I thought that was a reference to Sam Hyde. Maybe he's a fan.
That's SAM. That's what they were saying that his name was, right? Semel.
Oh no! So he actually bought it from like 4chan guys.
Yeah, like the Ukrainian version of Sam, like a Semelin or something like that.
Do you guys see what I'm saying? Especially in the first Ukraine episode. These people are fucking dipshits. This guy, Adam Kinzinger, is he's a wartime pilot. He served in Afghanistan and fucking Ukraine. Oh, excuse me, and Iraq. Let's get fucking real here, you know? I mean, I guess I'm pulling for him too, but just to show you just how hopelessly out of touch he is. How much you go look up how old he is, Adam Kinzinger. I bet he's younger than me.
I think you looked before.
I bet he's younger. No, I looked up Zelensky before. He is younger than me.
Adam Kinzinger is 44 years old.
He's a year younger than me.
Pit of a fighter jet. Sam Hyde, for the record, is not a Ukrainian fighter ace. He is once again a comedian.
Shot from the Point covers Sam Hyde and Goof and iDubbbz and stuff like that. This is what we do. Like, and laugh about stuff like this. I mean, like, this is the first time that this shit isn't funny to me anymore. It's funny that it got on. It's funny that he's so stupid, but these are the people running our country. They're completely out of their minds. Apparently, at some point, Adam Kinzinger suggested a no-fly zone, like Ukraine's Iraq right now. Well, Adam, you're an officer. Don't you know that's an act of war, and that we're up against a nuclear power? Look, I'm all for helping them if we can sneak ammo over the border, anything. A no-fly zone is might as well be an invasion, and nobody should know that more than you, sir. You're an officer. But if I wonder, you know, when I talked about it happens in the military too. I've seen it. People without merit getting through. Yes, he can fly an airplane, but otherwise he may be a buffoon, as Tucker says.
That was Adam Kinzinger. These are the people pushing us toward a new world war. So at the very least, let's pause and think this. Posted images.
Yeah, like, what's wrong with that? Let's pause and think this through. Let's not get all fucking rabid about it. You know, they are not a member of NATO, unfortunately. I honestly think that, like I said, it's the Ukrainians. I think Ukraine has to be a sacrificial lamb for the rest of the West. And we're going to have to go back to an old type of Cold War stance. Unless him taking over Ukraine and gas is just so valuable that there does come a time where you can't let him squeeze us and we got to go in. I don't know if we're there yet, but I mean, it's just how irresponsible are these idiots? like why how do you get up in the morning and say, like, if you're like a Democrat, is like, how do I, you know, post Tucker Carlson or Donald Trump? Donald Trump, who told Europe, start building your armies, pay your fair share in NATO, and stop fucking doing billion-dollar deals with Russia. You know why? You know why you're not hearing that? Because that kind of overturns the whole Russia hoax, and that Trump was like down with Putin. So what they do, they take him out of context and say, well, he's called him a genius. Well, you know what? If he fucking wraps the way this thing started, the way he's suckered the rest of fucking Europe, Vladimir Putin, that is kind of a genius. Remember, Hitler conquered a good part of Europe without firing a shot. And then when he was forced to fire a shot, he invaded Poland. I mean, all this stuff's in their history books. Adam Kinzinger should know this. AOC should know this. President Biden should know this, if he knows where he is. What a joke. What a joke. So yeah, you could have incompetent fucking pilots too. You got people that are completely out to fucking lunch. I mean, people actually voted for this guy. How much you want to bet like, what is his background? I want to look up Adam Kinzinger. Like, how did he grow up? I can't spell his name. Yeah. What's his deal? Where is he from? American politician, early life. Adam was born in, I'm 2 years older than him. February 27, 1978. Happy birthday, Adam. The son of Betty, school teacher. All right, that's pretty humble beginnings. I went to high school, blah, blah, blah. degree in political science. That's probably what poisoned his brain.
Well, his school teacher in Kinzinger, a CEO of faith-based organizations.
There you go. Well, is there money in that?
I don't know. I mean, faith-based? That sounds like religion, right? A CEO.
Yeah, probably. It's probably money. Well, he won at the age of 20. He's one of the youngest serving board members in McLean County history, defeating an incumbent. He's a politician. He flew an airplane. Whoa, Tommy sees cat. The correct answer was pipeline of hypocrisy. The West funds Russia. The military depends on Russian oil. Shout out to climate change. Yeah, shout out to climate change is right.
Thanks to Tommy sees cat.
There is climate change coming. Russia and China are in charge. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm more excited. I mean, it's a really great donation. Just not exactly myself today. You know, I'm horrified by this. Yeah. His military service. Kinzinger resigned from McLean County Board 2003 to join the United States Air Force. That's really honorable. It really is. I'm not going to take that away from him. He's commissioned second lieutenant. He's awarded his wings. Kinzinger went in a KC-135. I don't know anything about planes. I'm totally an Army guy. I don't even know I can't even say the name of the plane. The pilot few missions to South America, Guam, Iraq, Afghanistan. He later switched to flying an RC-27 surveillance aircraft. Wait a minute. Well, he wasn't exactly a fighter pilot. But he's an officer. He should know better. Kinzinger in Air Force Operations, Air Command. Wisconsin promoted the current rank of lieutenant colonel as part of his continued service with the National Guard. Apparently, he's still in the National Guard. He's deployed in Mexico, whatever. I don't know. But, dude, man. Dude, you're not that fucking old. You're younger than me. You couldn't tell that fucking Sam Hyde thing. It's like, I can understand who Sam Hyde is. Like, how do you know that's not Photoshop? I have no faith. I have no faith in our institution. I have no faith in our media. I certainly don't have a faith in these tech oligarchs that are censoring us. We have a de facto no. We don't have a we almost don't have a First Amendment anymore in the United States because of the tech oligarchy. Let's keep going with this shit. Watch the moment a CNN reporter discovers he's crouching by a live grenade. He get blown up, did he? All right, let me show you this shit. Disturbing energy. No, we can't watch this.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
Yeah, let me watch it. He gets blown up. Let me check. I think is that a body? I don't know. We're gonna have to switch that one. I thought that would be funny. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's CNN anyway. Fuck it. Fuck CNN. All right, let me give you an idea. I think what you're seeing is surgical. Outside the current U.S. military, Americans aged 18 to 25 are not anywhere near close ready for combat physical activity. It's scary. Yeah. It's been like that for some time, though. Scrubs. I saw that glass cup up. I don't know how that guy didn't get torn in half.
Yeah.
How is he not bleeding? I mean, and this shit ain't nothing. Ask an Iraqi. I looked. Any chance anybody was in Iraq in the Middle East when we were bombing there? It's these are like, that's just shelling, and I've seen like surgical strikes. Russia's capable of not a lot more. They'll probably just run out of money. That'd probably be one way to burn them out. What's this shit? Let me make sure this isn't fucking. Too fucked up. All right.
Ребята, вот эта херня прилетела в Мелитополь.
Missile fell in the house and didn't blow up.
Частный сектор.
Dude, you need to get the fuck out of there. Unbelievable.
Посекло осколками. Возле
Unexploded
товаров для
ordnance.
дома, улица Коминтерна. Посекло осколками кучу домов.
Sometimes shit doesn't go off.
Вся улица.
Crazy. Sticky damage government eastern headquarters. Take a look. I think this is what the
Вы этого хотели, да?
in a couple
Мы вас
days,
предупреждали.
but everywhere.
Плохая затея. Много раненых. Бесотых пока не видно.
Now, I want you to remember, these are people's houses and where they went to work every day. And
Тут русский мир ждал слова.
look at that. It's gonna be like that.
Площади. Вы этого хотели, да? Мы вас предупреждали. Это плохая затея.
For some reason, they can turn them around or maybe get fucking Russians to surrender. I don't know. It'd be something, but I just don't see it. And again, I can't, like, I'm not trying to give you a black pill because the sake of giving you a black pill. I'm trying to tell you the truth. And the Russians aren't going to tell you the truth. And I got to be honest with you, these Westerners that are looking to ban everybody that is questioning the way this has gone about and then maybe criticizing people what has gotten to this point, they're not telling you the truth either. Honest question, I don't know how it works. Do you even think that they do all the Ukraine NATO? Do you think that they did NATO interference? No, if they do, they do. You know, like, yeah, maybe they hit London with a nuclear weapon. Now what? Like they invaded the country. This is horrible. This is horrors. They're not a NATO ally. They should have been as soon as the Soviet Union broke up. I don't know why it took so long. Because, you know, if they'd have done it almost immediately, then Boris Yeltsin probably wouldn't have too much to say. He had his own problems. I think the only way you can justify NATO getting involved is if we just simply can't afford to live with a wacko like Putin holding oil everybody's over his head. But why haven't we turned the Keystone Pipeline on in the States? That would actually hurt him. I know it hurt the price. I know it brought down the price of gas. I know the Saudis had to lower their shit. Why are we doing that? Well, because the environment? Well, the environment's going to be China and fucking Russia in control, and they don't give a shit about the environment. I saw this before. I think this might have been a surgical strike. I don't know. Let me see. These poor people, though. Yeah, I think that was. If I had to guess, somebody got, like, they were probably trying to go for like a key figure in the Ukrainian government. Stefan Carbino. This 40-kilometer long Russian convoy is way to Ukraine. Yeah, and I think it'll stop. It'll connect with another incoming army, and then they're going to bomb, and I think they're going to go in. I think. That's my opinion. That's not anything like I got in the military. Because it makes so much sense today. Just soften it so much when by the time you get in, there'll be just absolute devastation, and the people that can fight back won't be much of an issue. Yeah, so they did it half-assed, and they got half-assed results. What a shock. You know, that's the thing. Like, that's why we're so serious. Like, when you go in, that's why we lost Vietnam. We tried to do it without being brutal. You can't. I guess the Russians probably did them for economic reasons. Us for, I don't know, to please the New York Times with Vietnam. You've seen it before. I mean, the United States and Iraq, and Afghanistan, they just obliterate everything. And then the infantry goes in. The hard part comes after that. I'll talk over that in a minute. It's just horrifying to see them maybe able to see it all unfold in real time. Appreciate your coverage. I hope Ukraine pulls it out. So do I, man. Honestly, I got to be honest here. I'm to the point now, especially it really sickens me, like that they're calling people like me. Although I have to be honest with you, I haven't gotten too much twit on, shit on Twitter, but I have seen people that I agree with called Russian agents and what have you. If somebody said to my face, I think I'd wreck them. I mean, I don't think I'd tolerate that shit. There was a time when you were called a traitor in my country where those were fighting words. Maybe they should go back to being fighting words. Maybe people wouldn't, flip that shit out so quickly. This guy. So this is Coach Red Pill, and this is another guy that's in our sphere. He's a blithering idiot. He's been in the chat before. He sells guys this meme, and even within this whole community, he's considered a bit of a joke of how to be a real man. He looks like a badass to me. That whole horse shit. And a lot of guys are selling that crap. And apparently, is this true? He's openly rooting for Russia while in the Ukraine?
Yeah, from like what she's reporting, yeah. I know.
Well, I don't trust her either because she has blue check mark.
Yeah.
I don't trust her at all. But I know what Coach Red Pill is. I know exactly what he is. And I don't. He's nothing. But I think what they're trying to do is try to make everybody Coach Red Pill in a weird way. So apparently, this guy Gonzalo Liro Lopez. That's one hell of a white nationalist name on Russia's state TV. He's sitting somewhere in Kiev, bashing Ukraine and the U.S. while simultaneously praising Russia. Some like Lord Horha to me. He calls himself Coach Red Pill and filming an American journalist eating in their hotel. Well, as much as I hate them, that's not fucking right. You're trying to get people killed. I tell you something, Coach Red Pill. I was sent a video where a guy was supposedly, he was just suspected of giving out positions in the street. And a POV rolled up in this guy and these two other guys in civilian clothes with AKs. They butt at him and they AK'd him. I don't know if you want to run your mouth like that. This is the real shit. And then, if the Russians come in and start fucking, Dresden, the whole area, you might be in the middle of it. And if you survive that, then the Russians might just fucking roll up and kill you. Like, they might have orders to shoot anything that moves. From what I understand, and for what people told me, the initial invasion of Iraq, the Americans were given the order, everything that moves. And it worked. It was one of the quickest military advances in history. And I know a guy that was there. And he told me it was like this. You imagine, like, you ever like hang out with your boys and you like throw a snowball and hit another guy in the face, and all your friends are like, oh shit. Well, imagine that.
One of Coach Red Pill's titles of his video is "What Russia Wants from Its Invasion of Ukraine and Why Zelensky is Evil."
Okay, whatever. Okay. He won't be. They're going to ban him off every fucking platform soon anyway, because they're banning people that are legitimately criticizing the situation. I don't know how you could have. Personally, I don't know how you could fucking have a criticism of Zelensky. How? I mean, if he's just a tin pot dictator punk, why didn't he walk? Zelensky chose to die. I don't get that shit at all. Let's see what he's doing.
All the system pig journalists are here. See? All these people, they're all system pig journalists. They're all like, here to report on how they led Ukraine up the garden path, and now Ukraine is fucked. Yeah. The people pushing the narrative. These are the people pushing the narrative. So you can see them real good.
Yeah, he might as well just dox them, And I don't know if everybody's doing what they say to. I mean, I do blame American media and the American left of selling Ukraine a bowl of shit and telling them it was gold. But I don't. What good? I don't. Some of those guys are camera guys. They're just there doing a job. And that's fucked up beyond all recognition. And, you have, that's the one end of the spectrum of the extreme. And then you get the other end of the spectrum where Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson are Russian agents. You get that fucking shit. Or you get this, like, anybody that says anything that criticizes the story, or, I mean, even, like, so are Russians allowed to be pro-Russia? I mean, on Twitter? Like, are they allowed? I don't know. Fucking crazy to me. I guess this has been confirmed. What the hell is this, Mulchy?
This is the Coach Red Pill thing. Dead Freak was telling me that Coach Red Pill moved to
This is
Ukraine.
mayhem.
It's like tried to start a fight club.
Homework. Him start a fight club? He's like 50
Like
years old.
like the fight club, like the organization, like in the movie.
Yeah.
He's trying to do that. Right.
Toothpicks. Cheap, small, harmless, effective. Clog the enemies with toothpicks. Your local baby killing clinic. Your local shot dispensary. I'm anti-abortion too, but you don't strike me as a guy that really has too much too much love for human life. Your local stores and businesses that proudly deny goods and services to the unvaxxed. Whatever. Fuck this. I'm not reading it. Giving that guy anymore. Fuck him. And this is another reason I have no faith. More American insanity.
Outer walls and roof. Try to maintain a distance of at least 6 feet between yourself and people who are not part of your household. And if possible, wear a mask. Again, this is if there is a nuclear explosion, an event like a bomb going off. Are these people for real, Joe?
By the way, it's FEMA for you Americans out there.
You've seen Terminator 2, right? And Linda Hamilton's trying to warn people on the playground to get off because the nuclear bomb's about to go off, and then her face basically melts off when it happens. Yeah. In case of a possible nuclear holocaust, keep up masking and be sure to socially distance. And if you think you have COVID, it also says, quote, call 911 and be sure to put on a mask before help arrives. It actually says this. I mean, this is several flavors of stupid, guys and gals. And then again, this isn't some blogger saying this. This is the United States government. This is FEMA and their recommendations, and it's not.
Why should I have faith in any institution on earth when they're like as stupid as the people that ran my high school, and maybe even worse and less efficient? I mean, they actually, when I was in basic training, it was just Cold War hangover shit. They actually had a drill. They probably got rid of it finally. What to do if you witness nuclear explosion. I shit you not. It was something like fall to your knees and stick your ass in the air.
Like the fucking tornado safety thing where you go into put your hand in.
Yeah, it was. We were all laughing about it. And the one drill sergeant that got the job to do it, she was like not liking being there because it was the dumbest job you can imagine. It's a joke. Nobody can do anything anymore. Unbelievable. I don't know, guys. Again, let me make this abundantly clear. I'm going to just put some propaganda black pill out there because I hate the Ukrainians so much. It couldn't be farther from the truth. For some reason, they were able to foil them, and maybe they'll be able to do it sort of like the Iraqis did and the South Vietnamese did. But, because eventually they're going to have to go door to door. And that's where things can get ugly. Learn how to make bombs. That's where things are going to get ugly. Because they're going to go door to door one day. But here's another thing. With the possible exception of actually kicking down a door, you just can't go in there and start spraying motherfuckers. At least the way I was trained. First guy in the door gets shot first. Doesn't matter what a badass. And he literally you can't just go in there shooting. Oh, and by the way, if you do and you're wrong, you go to prison. Some tell me these Russian soldiers aren't going to be under that kind of pressure that Americans and English soldiers are held to when that happens. Makes things a lot easier. Just go in and blow everybody up. You can't just a lot of times you can't even toss a grenade in because there might be kids in there. I've heard of it. Just it depends on your what your rules of engagement are. But yeah, that sucks. 2 things. Dead on Dave Thursday. We're gonna. You can call in right now. I'll take your calls. Go in the queue in the green room and then in the Discord below, the main Discord. I'll open the phones.
Yes,
you guys can talk about anything. I don't give a shit. You don't have to.
Yes,
talk
the queue green room.
The queue/the green room, whatever you want to call it. You go in there, pull you, and then we also right after show. Of course, we have the after show, and I'm going to be doing at least 20 minutes to a half an hour in the after show. This after show is not for free. You do have to be a member of Twitch. You have to be a sub with me somewhere along the line, and then it's more of a conversation. I don't really get we only got 20 minutes now, and I'll go in there for at least 20 minutes right afterwards. So, but. To my Eastern European friends, that have somebody, it was really hard because somebody wrote me, they weren't Ukrainian, but they were a border country, and they're thanking me the way I handled it. And, I'm not a journalist. I didn't graduate college. And they appreciated my takes and, being real about everything and some of the compliments I paid the people. And, what I've learned about Eastern Europeans while living in Europe. I really shouldn't be terribly surprised. They kind of they handled the first round pretty well. I really shouldn't be. The point, bitch. If I knew more Ukrainians, probably maybe I would have got it right. But no productions. Thanks so much. Yeah, well, you can come in right afterwards, man. You've got something to say, and you got right now. We'll take you. So open it right up. Talk about anything.
So, Vale and Maya in the queue. I think they have an issue or something. I've been told they want to debate or something, maybe.
Okay, sure. Vale and Maya, go.
You gotta unmute.
Gotta unmute though. He probably has a damn Android problem.
Yo.
What's up, man? How can I help you?
So, my take on this whole thing is I don't really see how Russia's evil. I see a lot of saying, Putin's evil, he's terrible, when my whole thing is literally any other country in Russia's position would probably be doing the exact same thing.
For what because of why would another country do that?
Multiple things. Firstly, there's Azov, and I don't know if you know about them. I don't know.
I want you to stay on the subject because I hate when people do that. Why would the United States do this in their position? What position? What position is Russia in that they have to handle things this way? Explain it to me.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting to, right? There are effectively a terrorist group that has become a part of the Ukrainian government. There is Ukraine trying to join NATO. There is a lot of Americans having a bunch of money in Ukraine specifically. So the way that I see it more so is there's a lot of American influence and European influence in Ukraine, and Russia is scared that they're going to join NATO because if they join NATO, that is essentially an invasion.
I'm going to go halfway with you. The terrorist thing is bullshit. The guy's a fucking school teacher. The corruption inside of fucking Ukraine is no different than any other European country. Here's what I will give. That's just, it's complete. I'm going to get into debate. It's ridiculous. Here's what I will give you. I think it's a reasonable argument where if NATO is on your border now, that it would be reason to be upset. But you really believe that invading and doing there's been no negotiations until, I don't know, Russia fucking kind of got their ass kicked in the first round. There's been nothing. They've made absolutely no fucking effort. I'll agree with you on this. There's corrupt American money in there. We know the president's in there. The president's kid's in there. Yes, I'll give you that. But I mean, to do this to these people, I think it's a little more to do with. I think there's a little more with wanting to expand the Soviet Union than I don't necessarily believe. I think he sees this as an opportunity. He's like the Kaiser in World War I. Franz Ferdinand went down and Germany got involved. because that was their chance to expand their empire. And I think you're right. Do you have an argument? I'll give you that. You have an argument. But to do this, are you seeing what they're doing over there to their neighbors? This is the equivalent of us invading Canada.
Right. I also sent you something on Azov Battalion.
No, I want to stay to the subject. I hate doing that because let's have a conversation. Like, this justifies that?
I mean, again, not necessarily justifies. Like, I don't agree with just outright invading. I would prefer peace talks. I'm just saying I kind of dislike the propaganda-esque take.
I hate the propaganda on both sides too. I hate the. Let's go back to evil because you really don't have much of an argument. You know that this guy does to his political opponents. You know that he didn't leave office after his term was up, and then he rigged the Constitution where he could get back in. You know how he came up. How is this guy not evil even before he became the head of Russia? Please explain that to me.
I didn't know about the Constitution stuff.
Oh, God. Remember when President Medvedev was in charge, when he was a sock puppet in 2012? You know, when Obama was sucking him off? Well, technically, he wasn't in charge, but he was. So maybe you got to go back and see what this is going to be like. Now, I'll give you this. I don't know if I'd like it. There's some kind of major alignment of enemies that were in Mexico. Okay, I can give you that. But there's a lot more to it than this, and I don't really totally buy that. And to go and invade like this to a country that has not been aggressive is completely and totally unjustified. I will give you this. I really would love to know the corruption. I really want to know about Burisma. I really like to know why so many Democrats have money over there. I really want to know why the anti-war left that I grew up with all of a sudden is willing to risk World War III. I think those are all crazy. But Vladimir Putin's not your buddy. You know, I don't like these lefties any more than you do. I'm not.
I don't think he's a great person by any means.
Yeah, but he's also a tyrannical maniac. And I'll take my chances with Zelensky. A school teacher. Or no, it's not a school teacher, but a fucking comic.
My issue isn't with Zelensky. I mean, I don't think Zelensky likes Azov, right? They talk about killing Jews and stuff. I don't really think he's their best friend. What I take issue with is I dislike the fact that they've been integrated into the military, and I do dislike the fact that what power can they take with that, because they're the guard.
I can't, I can't even debate with that stuff you sent me with Azov because I don't know enough about it, so I'd be completely useless. Fair. And we don't have time to. And that's not a criticism of you. We don't have time to get me up to speed where you even be a fair fight.
I can give you what I know.
But no, I'm not interested in that right now. But I mean, corruption in Eastern Europe, anti-Semitism in Eastern Europe, it's as common as fuck. They're not going to fucking invade Moldova. You know what I mean? By the way, anti-Semitism is out of control all throughout Russia and been that way since I got here in 2005. So I don't know. It's like Ukrainians are worse somehow. They've done nothing. These people have done nothing. Their military has done nothing. You know, so I mean, I can get halfway there with you. I am absolutely sure, and I don't blame the Ukrainians for this. The way the West has handled this situation, with not building up a military in Europe, with dealing with Putin as much as they have, that they have put Ukraine in a bad position. But I'm not going to sit there and, because look, like I said, there's propaganda on both sides. Yeah. See what I mean, bro? I'll let you get the last word, man, because you were fair.
I'd just say, if you want to know what I know about Azov, I can give you some information private that I have on them. There's a lot of stuff that they're doing.
No, only give public because I get it as trust me, bro. I mean, come on, man.
No, it's not that. It's not that. There's stuff that they're doing that I don't want to publicly.
All right. Well, here's the thing. If there's some creepy organization in kind of the Ukraine, I'm sure there's evil people in the Ukraine, and that's not what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing people that didn't do nothing, that want to protect what's theirs, with their birthright, their culture, to keeping a tyrannical maniac from Russia from moving in and not to mention the fact squeezing the rest of Europe.
Yeah.
And that's a serious problem. And yeah, I think he is a bad guy, and I think you really ought to look at his history. He's been president for 23 years, man, or even longer. Do you remember? Does anybody put a 1 in the chat if you don't remember who Boris Yeltsin was? And if you don't know, here's what you know. He was the guy that took over after the wall fell and the Soviet Union collapsed. And the next guy was Putin. Think about that. It's almost 30 years ago. So, all the best, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in. It's like a delay or something. I'm sure I'm a traitor because I didn't yell at that guy, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I try to put myself in other people's shoes. Would I want, Mexico or Canada in bed with the country that has a contract that they go in? I don't know if I like that either. I just think there's a lot more to it than that. And I don't know if this response is justified. Let's take Edgy. Edgy, you're on the air.
Hi, Tommy. I just want to say I'm happy my prediction was right, that the Ukrainian people would be able to last more than 2 days.
You're right. I was wrong.
I'm very happy they're still alive, the vast majority of them, even though they fucking got bombed.
Mm-hmm.
I have most respect for the Ukrainian army. Keep at it. Keep Putin out of this democratic Europe. I don't want a fucking dictator to take over what we're building, right? We're trying to become more westernized and trying to have a more democratic system, and we're trying to destroy corruption. I don't want a fucking dictator to take over a country next to my border.
You want Western corruption, not Eastern corruption.
Yes, because at least in Western corruption.
I got to be honest here. There is a spectrum of corruption, and I much rather. I agree with you. I say that half joking, but I imagine if you lived in Eastern Europe, Western corruption sounds fantastic.
Yes, Eastern corruption is basically they're not even trying to hide it. They're just outright stealing whatever they want.
Where are you from again, Edgy? Where are you from?
What? Where
are you from?
Romania.
Oh, you're right in the line.
Yeah.
What are they saying over there? You're not too far. What are they saying over there?
What they're saying? Well, the people who are estimating the war, they were wrong before he invaded, but now they have the prediction are about right. Putin is estimated to basically invade Kiev in 2 days from the analysts in Romania.
Okay.
We took over around 50 to 60,000 Ukrainians in Romania. Half of them left to Poland or other Western countries, and half of them stayed here because they hope the war is going to end pretty soon. I don't think it will.
Yeah.
The government in Romania sent around a lot of weapons, helmets, medicine, fuel to the Ukrainian government. And also they're soon going to give the liberty for Romanian citizens to enlist for the Ukrainian army if they want to fight.
You Eastern Europeans, you people really impress me. You ain't got shit. You're poor as dirt. Boy, you'll fight to death for your own shit. We used to be like you. It's sad.
I just don't understand why people are such pussies. It's so basic
because we
to
grew
want
up with
to
everything.
fight.
Because we don't want for anything. Even a poor fucking black guy in the ghetto's probably got it fucking better than you, or a lot of people over there. We don't.
Economically.
You guys are only 30 years removed from a tyrannical dictatorship, and a tyrannical empire. You guys, people remember that shit. And then, naturally, when the Marxism is removed, the communism is removed, you go through a series of absolute poverty or abject poverty. And, the fact that a lot of you pulled yourself out of it, and you're definitely not westernized yet, it says something. And also, Eastern Europe, really, even going back to the Middle Ages, is not exactly the richest part of Europe. It just the way it is probably has a lot to do with natural resources and shit. So yeah, it's really interesting that the people that are willing to stand up the most have the least.
Yeah,
it really is. It's actually more amazing that we find American boys and girls that are willing to do shit and get shit done, considering how spoiled we are. That there's enough people that can, put that aside for something else. You know what I mean?
You guys do have a population of 380 million, so it does make sense. But,
and we probably got a lot of poor motherfuckers that got shit to lose.
I appreciate.
I serve with those guys. I serve with those American guys, and not all of them were poor, and not all there were some guys in there that joined the infantry right after 9/11, and they were fucking. They didn't have to. I didn't have to go. They didn't have to go, and they were doing dangerous shit. So like I think the United States and we have just enough, and boy, you got them in spades over there. So I'm enamored with all of Eastern Europe right now, and I kind of knew you were tough because you guys are kind of a pain in the ass here in Germany. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. The vast majority of Romanians still leave Romania for
no. Actually, I was really close to the guy named Marius. I think he moved away. Yeah. He's like we talked about Romania all the time. But he would say, "I'll just tell you, it's very rough over there. Don't be going around looking like you know something. All right, I tell you, if you go to Romania, don't act like you know something. You don't know nothing."
It is like there's still people in my country basically like there's garbage mountains.
It's a lot of gangsters
and they have
over
to
there.
live off.
It's a lot of gangsters there.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of gangsters.
It's a lot like we still have toilets in our in the back of our homes. Like we don't.
Well,
have
they probably
like
have them down where Matt is too. Come to think of it.
Yeah.
In fairness. All right, and great fucking call, bro. Take care, man. Somebody said hill instructions. What do you got? What's up?
Fucking Kraut posted something on Twitter. I sent it to you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Kraut T, my good friend, wonderful guy. The Russian convoy heading Kiev was potential of being one of the greatest military disasters in Russian history. Hope you're right, dude. If they lose the battle or retreat, Ukraine could blow up. If they lose, Putin's done. I mean, retreat, Ukraine could blow up the rear end of the. Well,
is it wishful thinking or is it like?
I think so. I don't want to say anything like too. I love Kraut. Like
I'm not.
I consider him a friend. He's somebody I care about. He's somebody who's going to be coming over. I'm going to go out have a couple of beers. I introduce my wife and my family. I do think it's wishful thinking, but I also know that he comes from But I do think, all right, he has a tendency to root. So I'll just say this right now: if this is what happens, I will get him on this show. We will talk about it, and I will apologize to him. Even though I really didn't say anything, but I think it's wishful thinking. But I'll apologize to him for it.
In fairness, he's quoting an army friend.
I don't think he's seeing the fucking missiles rain down like I am. I don't think they're just the convoy's outside. Why come they could have got there today? It's not. I mean, we're listening to invade tonight. So wait a minute, was it 2 hours ahead of me? So it's like it's like midnight in Ukraine right now, I think. Oh wait, they only might be 1 hour ahead of us. What time in Kiev? Hold on a second. I want to see what time it is. Okay, time in Kiev. And auto completed. What a shock. Yeah, it's just about midnight. They're 2 hours ahead. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, they're an hour. No. Oh, whoops, they're an hour ahead. So it's 10 p.m. Central European. I don't know. I mean, Kraut's definitely rooting for him. He knows what the Russians are. He's not just. I don't think he's just coming from. And he's not a cancel culture woke lefty. He's also. Kraut has made some wonderful videos when no liberals would do this, sticking up for American military interventions because he sees the big picture and not just an opportunity to slam his political enemies. He made a great defense of something that I disagreed with at the time of the United States getting involved in Eastern Europe because the genocide was going on there was unacceptable. Unacceptable. And a lot of people on the right couldn't get on board because Bill Clinton was the president at the time. This is the divisions we have in our country. But the way he laid it all out, we should have been there. Absolutely. You can't allow a Holocaust. It was happening on all ends, but there was more to it than that. And he's always been really fair to the American soldier, Kraut. You can go listen to him or you can go listen to Coach Red Pill. I could respectfully disagree with Kraut. We've never gotten so much. We've gotten discussions. We've never, and he knows I'm right leaning. So I'm not going to say anything. But yeah, I think it's wishful thinking. God, I hope I'm wrong, dude. If I'm wrong, it's bigger than 1980 fucking gold medal in hockey, man. To me, because that's the greatest fucking championship of all time in any fucking country in any sport. So if they do that, God, they fucking pull this off. I'll visit Ukraine, and I'll get I'll fucking get in one knee or salute fucking Zelensky. But I don't know, man. I just don't see it. You know, and I'm still kind of connected over here. I hope I'm wrong. I'm rooting against. I can't stand fucking Putin as much as the next guy. Goose, you're on.
Oh, hi. Right. Let me pause my stream. Okay. Wanted to say, quick one. You know the map which was like live conflict of Ukraine?
No. I don't know which one you're talking about.
There's a website which has live conflict of Ukraine, and the other day Russia had like the bottom half of Ukraine. Well, not the bottom half, but they invaded from Crimea quite a bit, and they've actually pushed them back quite a lot, which I'm quite pleased about. But also it's blocked a lot of Russian warships heading through there, and I'm quite proud of that.
You know what they could do? They can fucking, you know, if they have something equivalent to a cruise missile, they can hit fucking anywhere with those boats. Yeah, I don't think people realize, like, we're so used to be like, you know, like Iraq being on the receiving end of this shit. Yeah, they have that kind of tech. And remember what I said at the top of this, right? Here's what my sources are telling me. That they, for some reason, and nobody knows why it is, I think I know, I think it's financial, they didn't pull out the big guns. And I don't mean just like literally guns. I'm talking tanks and planes I'm hearing. I'm assuming it's tanks and planes. They didn't see... The military analysts didn't see what they thought they were going to see from Russia. So it probably gave them a fighting chance. And when things are kind of even, the Ukrainians show up. But I think it's going to rain hell. It's going to rain fire. And yeah. I think when the fire sets in, that's when the infantry goes in. And maybe in that order. That's the right way to do it. It's you know what it is? It's the Powell Doctrine. It's the Petraeus surge. They thought they could do it cheap. Putin got embarrassed, and it's not going to happen again because he's probably an animal.
Yeah.
There you go. I can't. I'm just trying to keep it real. I'm not a propagandist. I have no stake in it. I don't trust my own government. I don't trust my own army. I don't trust Europe. I'm just telling you from what I know. I trust soldiers. I trust troops. I trust the working class. I trust people that have merit and can do shit, and not people that have fucking Twitch channels and, you know, dropped out of college and all of a sudden they're experts. I'm coming from sort of a working class perspective. You know, I had a working class job for like 10. I was primed for one I was supposed to be working in a queue, and it turned out that I was better cut out to be a soldier than I was, you know. And then the army, you know, I mean, I'm not smart enough to be the college guy with the nice car and fucking big house in New Jersey. I was too stupid. I was prepped for it. My parents had the money to put me in college. I was too stupid. So I started hanging. I drove cabs, and, you know, a lot of my friends, they all went to university, some Ivy League. You know, I just wasn't that smart, you know. And so I moved towards working class, and I was much happier. Did anybody see Did we see what's that movie with Office Space? At the end of the film, like, he's working in construction and he's happy. Because in the beginning of the movie, the guy said, because when I finished my work, you finish your work, the problem is you finish your work day, you don't see anything. You have your computer, you turn it off, you go home, and you're miserable. When I'm done, that's a house. I built it. Well, let me tell you something. For somebody like me, that's way better. And the only thing that could be better is this. You know? I like that stuff. So that's the perspective I'm coming from. I wasn't born working class, but I seem to fit in there more. You know, I'm not trying to. I had it good growing up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had it real good. I don't want to say. Yeah, you know, but go ahead.
All working class people I've met are a lot friendlier than posh rich people.
Yeah.
They're always, they're much more friendly.
I wouldn't even say like not everybody fits the stereotype up there. Look at fucking Clown. Guy grew up in a fucking castle. He's one of the most down to earth kings and paupers. That's who fucking Clown is. Colossal's crazy. You know, like not everybody fits the stereotype. By the way, I've met a lot of snobby working class people. But
where did Colossal grow up? I mean,
Midlands. That's all I can tell you. He's a very private person.
Oh, okay.
But he grew up quite good. You know? But my point is, I don't want to get caught saying coming from a working class perspective. And I did. I had it great growing up. And my parents got divorced, and all of a sudden I'm getting my ass kissed in school because I had to go to shittier school because my dad couldn't afford to live in a nice area. And, you know, it was a little different. Like the first half was privileged and the second half was more working white guy class. And I like that better. I like that perspective better. I think it's actually a little clearer. I think I think there's something can be learned from it, you know. And I think the working class around the world, just like James Gandolfini said, are getting a raw fucking deal.
Yeah.
And they're getting shit on worldwide by their former allies. So that's what this perspective. So I threw in with the working class. Was I born working class? Absolutely not. But I think that's the way to go. I think it's the right, but it's the heart of any country is the working class people.
Yeah. In the UK, I always find everyone who sees someone who's working class or in like a joggers or tracksuit or whatever, they always just assume that they're some sort of
they're like low life.
Well, yeah, like low life who does drugs and they steal from people and
there are
whatnot.
people
They always
like
assume that,
but it's not everybody. No, I know.
No.
You gotta eat. Like snobbery is never good either way. All right.
No.
Yeah. All right. Let me get to the other calls. I got mad calls and I also got another thing. I want to put it.
Yeah.
All right. Bye. Nice speaking.
Another. Thanks so much.
I'll be right back.
Another working class hero, Optimus Wilbur. What's up, bro?
Hey, Tommy. Hey, Matt. Tommy, this is basically just me passing on a message from a friend of my college who is Ukrainian Russian. I showed the last two, obviously, the coverage you've done. And obviously she doesn't know how to use Discord or anything. She doesn't have to, but she asked me to pass on a message saying thank you for your kind words about our country.
All right. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I hope she won't watch this and think that it's just I'm not going to sit there and lie and no, I'm not going to I'm not going to be the coach red pill for Ukraine. You know what I mean?
No, I know.
You guys give me too much money and too many subs for me to do that. I haven't done it before when YouTube drama. I'm not gonna. I haven't fucking cracked on that. So I'm certainly not gonna crack on this. So there you go. But
no, I know.
I
know
that
I did explain that to her.
Well, tell her this. I'm talking to people, and they're telling me. You can guess who those people are. That they're just blown away by the Ukrainian people. Just blown away. They can't believe it.
Oh yeah,
they can't believe it. I've talked to some very hard men today that's seen shit, and they can't believe this shit, like what they've done.
I mean, it was the same. I don't go either. Like she asked me to go to the college as well. Asked me to go and do like just part of like one of the tasks for obviously the photography side. Go down to likes of the likes and how like the protests. There was obviously one in Glasgow, and usually I stay away from that. I'm not.
You went
into. I actually went.
Good for you.
And when just taking the photos, like they were. I'm like you. I hate the press. I don't believe in the press. It's one of those things. But when I was saying to them, I'm a student. I'm just a student. And they were just saying, but are you sharing this on social media? And I was like, I will be putting pictures up. And then they're just throwing you in, getting in the middle. Please take a picture of this. Please take a picture of that. So like, they were thanking even for me because like, I'm Scottish. I've got no connection. But thank you for coming. Like obviously the ones that live in Scotland here.
Well, certainly the world's behild them. The working class of the
definitely.
world's definitely behind them. I think regular people are behind the Ukrainian people, for sure. The world is shocked by the leadership, and it just I can't help to be a little bit jealous, of the way they carry themselves and the way their leaders behave under pressure. I really haven't seen anything like it since Giuliani and 9/11.
No, that's it, and it is inspiring.
And this is probably bigger than what Giuliani did, and much more dangerous. Yeah.
It's inspiring, dude, definitely, and like you've got to look at it like the realistically, like what's if that 64 km convoy comes down, that yourself, dude. Do you know what I mean? It's like you've got to be realistic, and you're just praying that they can hold out.
I think the only thing would be is like a mass surrender. Like a bunch of guys that just said, I can't do this.
Aye.
I mean, like, we'd be equipped. Like, I know, forget English and Irish or English and Scottish history. All right, like, let's take it 2021. If they told a bunch of English soldiers to go over to Newcastle, get ready, we're going to invade Scotland, there'd be a lot of Englishmen say, "Fuck that shit. We're not killing our own people." There would be tons of guys throwing their guns down, you know. And I think I would hope, because in a lot of ways this is like Canada to the United States. It's like Austria to Germany, you know. These people know each other. They travel down the highway. They you know, like it must be weird for some of these Russian soldiers. And if it's true that they lied to them about what they were up against or what they were going to do, you know, a mass surrender might be maybe the only thing that could go well. I don't know, man. It's certainly a lot more complicated than I'm putting it, but it's just like I don't really see an upside, you know. But God,
it's one of those things. It is just one of those things, and like you said, it's just I don't think we would see it. That's that. If you get me, it's just one of those things. It's happened, and now we've just got to hope.
Well, I hope we learn from it. It seems to send a shockwave to Germany. You know, that we have to do so. We can't allow this kind of shit. You know, we can't allow them. We can't allow fucking crooked businessmen be in fucking Ukraine. We can't allow. Oh, no. We can't allow this scenario to develop. Because I got to be honest, it is a little more complicated than just he decided to invade. There's a bigger aspect to it than that. There's the fact that Europe has lost their way and wanted to defend their borders and just got lazy and allowed the Americans to do it. And there's the other fact that you don't fucking do deals with the devil. It's that simple, man.
That's it, dude. That's
it. It's like, you know, like, who gives a fuck? They got money. I got it. I mean, it's funny. The people that got money over there are the ones that bitch about capitalism. Isn't that fucking ironic? You know?
It's always those ones, Tommy. They always bitch about it. They're the ones that are like loaded and will look at that. It's I don't know the guy's name. I've seen you speak about him.
I'm saying his name wrong. Zelensky. I think I'm saying his name wrong.
But yeah, no, it's one of those things. But yeah, it was just to pass on a message because
give her my best.
I was like, look, the people are rooting for this country. It's unbelievable. And and Saturday when I seen even from obviously because there is quite a big mixture in Scotland of immigrants. Like a lot were there. So. It's just one of those things, but yeah, it was just a pass on the message to you, Tommy.
Thank you. So give her all the best and tell them, like, it's not just me that's impressed. It's people a lot more powerful than me are really impressed as well.
I will do, Tommy. Thank you.
Take care.
Try Jack Biondi. I think he was in the queue. One of the first ones in the queue.
Oh, really? And then I'll take Mormon guy after that.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, Jack? How you doing?
How you doing, Tommy? How you doing, Matt? I have a few things to say.
Sure.
The first caller that called in, I see some of his points, and the one he was making about the quote unquote reason for invading, as in there are Nazis and
that's horseshit. That sounds like propaganda. And it sounds like the propaganda that you would tell a Russian soldier, "Hey, they're really Nazis." Really? They killed my grandfather. You know, I mean, something. It's just.
It is. That being said, the group he mentioned, Azov Battalion, has seats in Parliament and is openly a neo-Nazi organization.
Okay, so they have we have an open neo-Nazi organization that holds some posts called NPD here in Germany. Big fucking deal.
Exactly, you know? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's not fucking Russia's problem. It's Ukraine's problem to sort that out.
It's like it's the dominant. That's the thing. They'd probably pick there's still Ku Klux Klan in the United States. You know? I mean,
yeah, exactly. I see exactly every point that you've been making about the Ukraine, and I have a theory on why they're sending in their worst armaments, and they're not really the great shit. Yeah. If you look at all the propaganda videos that have come out of the Ukraine, of destroyed tanks, of destroyed armaments and vehicles like that, they're all a lot of them are in disrepair.
They're old.
A lot of them are old like 80s Soviet tech.
That's what I was told. I wouldn't be able to identify that. I was never in an armor group. I was in the first armored division.
Yeah, I'm not involved in any of that. The only like reasonable things I've seen about that is takes from like combat vets on Twitter, to be totally honest.
Yeah, you're probably better off with them than you are the mainstream media. I'll be perfectly honest.
I'm
no combat vet, so I don't want to tell you there.
But I think Putin is trying to exhaust the Ukrainian armaments by sending in his shitty vehicles, because if he sent in a fucking like modern tank and that shit just got javelined immediately, that's a loss of a ton of money for him, a ton of military resources. So he's sending in all the old Soviet shit to wear out the Ukrainian arms.
And then come in with the big stuff. That's essentially that's essentially what I'm hearing. The only thing I hear that's a little different is they're actually surprised they did it this way. And they certainly things that I think I can confirm now, because I was always kind of iffy on that one. I'm pretty sure I can confirm now from who I've talked to and what I've been told. They were shocked. Things did not go their way. Most people thought it was going to be wrapped up by Sunday. Now it's Tuesday. So that's definitely true. But I think they did it this way because if it doesn't go right, well, we always have the B option. And I think you're seeing the beginning stages of the B option.
Yeah, I think Putin was caught off guard by it, but I don't think he was totally like. I don't think it wasn't a scenario that crossed it. I think it was a scenario that crossed his mind as happening.
Yeah, it's still pretty impressive.
And
he may
as
be
much
more
as
apt to
much
crush
as I
it
want.
because the thing is when you kill this guy Zelensky, the whole world's gonna go berserk.
Yeah, I think that Putin, he fucked up in the invasion overall, because if he completes the capture and takes the entire Ukraine, he's going to be holding territory illegally on the international standard, and it's just going to fuck up every plan he's had with any sort of diplomatic interaction going forward.
He doesn't give a shit about that. He's trying to remake the world. He is he wants to. He's trying to remake the world. That's what people don't get. Well, I don't have fucking sanctions, and their people will starve. He don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
That only works against countries that are Western. Like, I can't have my own people starve, and I might not get reelected next. He doesn't have to worry about any of that.
He doesn't.
He grew up in the old Soviet Union. He probably saw people get shot for treason and shit. He probably shot people himself.
I was going to say he probably shot some people himself for treason.
These wet, that's how you get that jackass woman. They're like, I wish I was your mother. Well, my mother killed a man right in front of me. Think about that, bitch. They have no fucking clue what they're telling them. What kind of people these are. They're different. I'm not even saying they're all evil, because I'm not dumping all Russians. I don't like what they're doing with no fuckers, by the way. I've said that before. But it's a different, they roll different. You
really
gotta
do.
figure, people my age got the tail end of the Soviet Union. Now they're in their fucking 40s. They're in charge of shit now. They might be pretty cold dudes, because let me tell you something. Ask anybody from the fucking ghetto. Ask our own minorities in the United States. Ghetto makes you cold.
Yeah,
it makes you cold. Imagine what it was 10 times worse than the Soviet Union was in Compton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Imagine how cold those motherfuckers are.
Similar struggles.
Yeah.
It's just going to breed
economic.
a different fucking kind of killer.
So, there you go.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, Jack. I'm going to try to get a few people in.
Of course. Yeah, get as many as you can. Thanks,
Yo, Jeff Huffman, are you good, bro? What happened?
What happened to Jeff?
Jeff just timed a bunch of people out in the chat for no reason. Did he like touch his phone or something?
Did he fall over on it?
I don't know. He timed Optimus, Assassin. They didn't say anything wrong.
I hope so.
I don't know what's going on.
Somebody get his fucking.
That's why I was looking. I looked up his YouTube. He looks okay, but I'm just making sure. It stopped, but I don't know if he fell on his phone or.
Where is Jeff?
I don't know. I DM'd him on Discord.
Phone, he banned half the chat. You know what we got to do? Where is he? Is he posted in there?
No, he's just he deleted Ganji. He didn't hide anybody except one guy, so he hasn't banned anybody except one guy. But he timed a bunch of people out.
We'll unmod him just in case he got compromised.
Okay, yeah, just make sure.
Yeah, please unmod him. I know.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna message him and make sure. Hey, Jeff, you're unmodded, but it's because
I don't think he gives a fuck. I mean, if I know Jeff, it's like I don't care. I don't care. Some people take that shit personally. Jeff's a real man. I'm modded because something was going on, and maybe he got in a fight with his brother or some shit. I don't know. His brother was like, you know what? Fuck you, Jeff. Fuck you, brother. I don't know.
Bro, is he like watching like a baseball game and just got pissed off?
Or threw the fucking phone against the wall or some shit. That's believable. Where is fucking Fluffman? I can't even find him in here. God, he should be. I mean, I probably modded him almost a decade ago. There he is. We unmodded him. All right.
Damn.
We'll fucking take care of it. That's kind of funny.
Oh, wait. Hey, Jeff Huffman. There you are. Jeff
Where is
Huffman. You said what? Like, message me on Discord, please.
You're unmodded. Type again, because it literally just wants to happen. Jeff, did you, like, start timing people out for no fucking reason?
Yeah, Jeff, scroll up, man. You just...
Maybe he's banging some broad and he rolled over the phone or something. US, what?
US, what?
I mean, I'm glad I modded him. he's clearly gone insane. He's clearly gone insane.
What the fuck?
You got 2A. Fucking Britball got his shit. Yeah. Either that or a Russian bot. I don't fucking know.
He said his phone was in his pocket.
You motherfucker, you can't do that. What's the matter with you? All right, I gotta wait until we talk to you, by the way. Then you get
yeah. DM me on Discord, Jeff, please.
Yeah. Because they have that account. You call us after the show.
Yeah, call us after the show.
Mormon guy on the air. How are you?
Hey, what's up, bro?
You tell me, man. How are you? Good to hear from you.
When, like I'm Mormon, right? Obviously. So
really, I thought you were fucking Muslim.
Well, what's the difference? So anyway, I served a mission out in California, but I had a couple friends who served out in St. Petersburg and Moscow.
Yeah, what did they say?
Well, the one guy, he started out at 290 pounds, and then he ended up being at 200 pounds because the Russian diet makes you skinny, just by default.
Yeah.
And then they used to teach English classes out there, and they'd get KGB guys going in there snapping up photos. And a couple of them got detained by the KGB for teaching English.
Well, there's no KGB anymore, but it's probably a KGB. What do you mean the KGB equivalent?
Well, what's the difference?
Yeah, they don't call it the KGB. It's probably other stuff.
Now, thankfully, they got out because like they knew a Mormon guy in the State Department in Russia that like vouched for him. But yeah, dude, I mean that stuff still goes pretty crazy down there. And even I had a guy serve out in Kiev too, and it's been pretty rough.
It's rough place.
Imagine.
These guys are fucking around, man. There's just it's like I say, fucking. I know it's different types of white people. It's not your average white boy or white girl. It's a totally different ball of wax. My bad, guys. Still at work listening. It's no problem, Jeff. We'll take care of it later. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. The other thing I want to talk about is like my dad works in the arms dealing. He's called a defense contractor, but what's the difference?
He's really defense guy. He's part of the military-industrial complex. Go ahead.
Yeah, like when we pull out of Afghanistan, for example, the Russians and the Chinese go in there and fix the helicopters and planes that we left.
Sure.
So it's not like these guys don't know like modern tech and how it works.
Oh no, these are not. This is not an unsophisticated people when the Russians. This is not Iraq. This is not Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And I haven't really got hit too hard. And by the way, I believe it. I think the way Afghanistan was handled is one of the reasons this happened. I don't know how it couldn't be. The world was watching that and they were like, what the figgity fuck?
Yeah,
there was never a clear signal to invade. That was it. That was it. There was a screw up in Afghanistan.
It's true. I don't think though that this will spread to like China going to Taiwan though, because Taiwan's like strapped to the nines. They've got. You've seen the Iron Dome out in Jerusalem. They got the same thing over there.
Yeah.
They're super strapped up in Taiwan compared to Ukraine too.
No, see, here's the thing. You're making a mistake a lot of other people are making. The Chinese are willing to kill their own to get what they want. I saw them do it in Tiananmen Square. Like in 1988. I saw my dad said that. He's like, wow, isn't it great what's happening in fucking China? He said they're gonna kill everybody you watch. Give it a couple weeks. That's exactly what they did. Like holy shit. And that was it. Now, and like the next year the Soviet Union fell apart. If you really think about it, China started kicking off the collapse of communism before the Soviets did. But they just went out there and said, we're gonna machine gun people and run them over in tanks in the street. So like, I mean, do the people of Taiwan have that hard of a line? Yeah, I guess. I'm sure. I'll take your word for it. But it doesn't matter if you can put a Dresden in the middle of fucking like a civilian area, and you're willing to do it, and you're willing to sacrifice your own people, and you're willing to do that. You know.
I mean, there's a little bit of a sea. There's like water that you have to cross, which makes it a little bit better for Taiwan. But I don't know. I just think too. I mean, if you looked back at Israel and like the 7-Day War and how they just mopped up and like that, I can't see this prolonging for more than a month for the Russians.
Sure. No.
If it lasts longer than that, then Ukraine's probably.
See, it's a two-front thing. Like it's two things. Like the longer it lasts, the more bloody it's going to be on both sides. But especially for the Ukrainians. But the longer it lasts, the better it is for us in the West, I think. But it kind of fucks up Putin's plans for sure. But I don't see him not getting barbaric, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't even know if he has to get barbaric. He just has to use overwhelming force. You know, he has to use the PAL doctrine. He has to use the Betrayus doctrine. That's it. He has the capabilities, from what I'm told.
And I guess I'll leave it on this too. So, I used to be huge into Cold War. That was like my 9th grade project or whatever. Mm-hmm. If you look up, I don't know if you ever seen the Tsar Bomba. You ever heard of that?
I know what the Tsars were, but I don't know what a Tsar bomb
is. They blew up, if you pull up a map of Europe, they blew up a nuclear bomb at the tip of Finland, like the furthest north point, and it blew out windows in Denmark.
Yeah.
Like, no joke. That's how big this bomb was. So, it's like, if you watch the video, it's like the sun is setting. It's like freaking... Yeah. It's insane.
All right, thanks for the call, Mormon guy. I do appreciate it. We're doing a after hour show. We're doing a show in Discord. If you are a Patreon, if you are a Twitch subscriber, if you're an arcade member, if you are a member of this channel, or you have access to this in the Discord. Click below and sync your sub with Discord. That means you have access to our very special Discord that we're having. We'll have a show, and you can have that show right afterwards, but you do have to be a member just to be a part of it, and we have longer conversations and things like that.
Jeff, can you come on the post show so we can make sure you're okay?
Yeah, we'll talk to him. Neil Lorenz, go ahead.
Yo, Tommy. You've been saying how like you think the Ukrainians, the reason why the Russians haven't used their full force is financial.
I think it's that's a guess. That's a guess, and I only go by their GDP. It's a guess.
I think it's because they want to incorporate Ukraine. You don't want to incorporate a bunch of bombed out cities.
There's a reason. I think your explanation is as good as mine. Maybe you're probably
because I've got to look at this from Putin's perspective. He sees Ukrainians as his people, and you can say that's wrong. That's distorted.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. That's the way he sees it.
But he thinks it's his people. He does not want to bomb these cities out. He doesn't want to kill his own people. Because Putin doesn't want to have to, because he doesn't have the financial.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to drain this country
to rebuild Ukraine. Does he have the?
Then he's going to have to rebuild Ukraine to get what he wanted out of it to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Minimal force, but the Ukrainians are saying no, we're not going to do that. So.
Look, I'm no expert, and I think experts are full of shit that are guided by ideology. I think that's let me guess, you a working class guy from England?
Yeah, I'm working class.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you can't, because you don't have any fucking politics cluttering your decisions. That's probably right. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, did you watch Putin's speech? I mean, he was mad. I mean, you can tell he's very historically minded. You can tell, he thinks about it. He ranted about Lenin for half of it because he believes it was Lenin who created Ukrainian identity. Despite the fact Ukrainians did exist before Lenin. He just believes Ukraine's a complete fabrication. And he believes it should be part of Russia's sphere. He doesn't like the idea of it being part of the Americans.
Like jackass, like he sounds like a Palestinian with fucking Israel or something.
Yeah. He just...
Isn't Ukrainian a separate language than Russian?
Well, most of them actually speak Russian, I think, or they can speak as a second language.
Or they can speak. So it's like the Dutch over here with German. Most of them know some German, and everybody knows English now. So, okay.
I mean, I suppose it's comparable to like the English and like the Irish. Like the Irish don't want to be part of England, even though they speak the same language.
You guys can understand each other. I think it's probably more comparable to the Dutch and the Germans. Like, they can listen to pure Dutch and get most of it, just knowing German, and vice versa. You know?
Yeah.
That's the Ukrainians are actually are ethnic Russians. Many Ukrainians are. Yeah, I did know that. I did know that's not what he's talking about though. I'm talking about Ukrainians.
Yeah. Ukrainians. It's kind of split in two because quite a lot of it used to be part of historically Poland. A lot of it used to be historically part of Russia, and this is where a big divide happened. That's why when they used to have elections.
How old are you?
17.
How did you get a teenager that's not a moron? I mean, this is amazing. This is like a new moment in Shot from the Point history.
Yes.
Like, you're not a fucking moron. So you like YouTube drama and this shit?
Yeah.
You like all the dumb stuff we cover on here and this shit?
I enjoy it all. Sometimes I like, historical stuff. Sometimes I like to come here and listen to some dumb stuff,
Me too. I do this all the time if I'm smart enough. I only do this kind of stuff when I think I know what I'm talking about. All right, Neil. Thanks for the call. Really
Thank you.
Take care. Hopefully you're a member and you'll be in the after hour show. Actually, I could start lecturing them if I don't see a membership, right?
Yeah.
Chantel, how are you? Chantel's not a member. What's that? Is Channy?
Or is it Cantel? No, it's not
Chantel. Oh, that'd be funny if it was. I haven't heard. Chantel. I can't tell. You're not here anymore. Goodbye. Fallen who is a member and can attend the after party show. Go ahead.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Hey.
The
other day, I actually told this story in the pay-per-view stream in Discord. My dad actually went to Ukraine for work in January. All this crazy shit happened.
Yeah, what did he say?
Well, he's back now. During Dave's stream, he actually made it home yesterday.
What about the show? About the story, you dipshit?
Which story?
Get the fuck out of here!
What? English is not his first language, I don't think.
You gotta come in and maybe it's not even English.
Well, no, he said his dad came from Ukraine. He just got back.
Well, get into it. I've been on an hour and a half already. For fuck's sake, goddamn, go to the fucking show.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's the rule. It says you will be treated like a customer, except on the shows. Then you get the regular Shot from the Point act. All right. No pro. You're on here.
Hello. So I was actually going to make the same point as Keel, and he was basically talking about how it makes no sense for
to them to destroy the whole country.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense for them. So, and I agree with you actually that I think that in the coming days that we see the infantry approaching, we're also going to see the bombs and the shelling coming in over the city.
Yeah.
But what the question that I have for you is like financially, like they're obviously less GDP than Texas. Like this, it does not make sense for them at all to continue this. Yeah. And I think the longer it goes, the worse it is for
this
Russia.
Guy may have convinced me. They may have to do it in increments. It's not so much they're being like cheap. It's just this is the way they have to do it because it's no good if the infrastructure is completely fucked. Like they know they could take it if they fuck the infrastructure, which by the way is one of the first things you would do. But it's no good to them if they have to spend money on rebuilding it because look at their GDP. That makes a hell of a lot of sense to me. It would totally. The invasion makes no sense the way it went down.
Yeah. At this point, it really just doesn't make sense, and I think that it's really bleeding the financials of Russia a lot, and I think that it's just like a pride thing for Putin at this point.
Well, probably.
I don't see any other benefits to continuing.
Beats the fuck out of me. I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Okay. Well, that was it. Thank you.
Good call.
Tommy, I just confirmed Jeff is good. I just made sure.
All right, fuck him. I'll tell him to type in the chat. I don't do his stupid thing.
Jeff, type in the chat so he can remod you.
Oh, well, you're so worried about him getting modded. Who cares?
I'm just doing my job.
He's been modded for years. He can wait a fucking hour or something.
I just wanted to make sure it was, we're all good.
Fez, you're on the air.
Hey.
What do you got?
Yo.
So, what you're meant to do when you're in a position where you can do nothing, you're aware there is a war going on, and people are hurt, but you can't do much. What you're meant to do to support someone you can't support.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're getting at. I think especially when I opened up, I think I made it very clear the stakes that are involved when I opened up the stream. Am I misunderstanding you?
I may have not heard.
So you were really coming in to lecture me?
No.
What were you gonna do? You were gonna lecture me, weren't you?
About what?
About what? My inhumanity? Is that what you're getting at? Like, I don't care that people are dying. I don't have any fucking idea that this doesn't concern me at all.
I was gonna ask what I can do.
What you can do?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, where are you from?
What?
I don't know. There's anything you could do. Where are you from?
I'm from Norway. I'm far away.
Okay. Well, that's here. Stop being Norwegian. That's number one.
Okay. Well,
what you can do? I don't know. What can you do? Join. All right. I'll tell you what. Get a boat to fucking Denmark, rent a car in Denmark, cut through Germany, go through the Czech Republic, or go from Germany to Poland. Excuse me, that's going south. Go to Poland and sign up for the Ukrainian army. You can do that. I mean, Zelensky made it abundantly clear. They'll take you if you're ready. I wouldn't want to go in that way, but hey.
Can I ask, why do you think I was attacking you at first?
I'm an angry person.
That's fine.
Here's the worst in everyone.
When you talk to certain people, not everyone is out to attack you as a person.
I really got to start to eat. Did you sign up for the? Yeah, you are a member. Oh, no, you're not a member.
Of course.
Now he's lecturing you.
I want to support people.
Well, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do with you? I'm going to make it. I'm going to make a new dedication, especially guys and members like you, to start treating them a lot better than I'm treating them. And I think I'm going to start with you. Okay. I don't care. I'll change my show. You're going to get blown up. You're going to get fucked with. Don't lecture me. How dare you? Now we're actually doing Tommy C again.
Yeah.
All right, all you bastards. And then, who did I hang up on? Fallen and...
Fallen.
Well, if they go to the after party show, they get priority, okay?
Yeah.
Anyway, they get priority before all the other guy. Good guy, Tommy C. I think we've had enough. I want to thank everybody for hearing me out. This is one of the few times when I don't do my stupid character. And I really do mean what I say. And I think I've been pretty fair, and I think I'm down the middle. I really appreciate all your compliments on the coverage. I do think I've done a good job. I'll be honest with you. But look, it's only as good as what I'm capable of. And do keep that in mind. I do want to say one thing to close it out with this. Somebody mentioned me. I noticed they deleted the tweet before I could respond. And they said that I flat out lied about Dr. Fauci, that he doesn't see patients anymore. And for some reason, when I went to respond to it, it was deleted. And what I responded with, and I'm sure this guy listened, I think his name was Jack Merle. I wonder why you deleted your fucking tweet, man. Because I didn't flat out lie. First of all, I have a reputation. If I actually got that wrong, that he didn't see patients, that he didn't see patients, I would admit it. I have no problem. I'm just a fucking douchebag on YouTube. I have no ego in this. I can say, look, I got this wrong. Let's get straight. I have that kind of relationship with my audience, and that's why I get subs. And that's why I'm able to hang around for so many fucking years after Baited expired. All right? Because I'm totally willing to say this. But guess what? I think I know why you deleted your fucking tweet. Because in that fucking podcast, I said in 1968, right after Fauci got out of medical school, he went right into the government. And lo and fucking behold, you can go to Wikipedia right now, and I was right. I suppose you can argue with me, Jack, and say when he hasn't seen a patient in 50 years. Well, I don't think he's ever seen a fucking patient because he's never had a practice. He went right into government. That's an undeniable fucking fact. Yes, I know there's all these articles out there. It's not true that Dr. Fauci deceives patients. If you think making the rounds politically is seeing patients, I got news for you. The rest of the medical industry doesn't see it that way. All right. He's never had a practice. He went right into government. I stand by what the fuck I said. If you want to argue, because I said he never, yeah, I'm sure he could see a patient tomorrow. If they had a bunch of cameras around him, he could tell people about masking up. Yeah, but that's not exactly having a practice. And you can check in goddamn Wikipedia. Graduate NIH. That's it. That's what he fucking did. So I was right. So, a lot of you guys say I'm calling me a liar. Phones are open, man. That server's not blocked for people. Anybody can call in. And by the way, I've unblocked everybody. You got to pay to get in. right, as far as using the other services, but anybody can call. Nobody's blocked. You got to do something crazy to get blocked down on my server. And you lose money when you do it. So Jack, I wouldn't have cared if you said, right, I probably wouldn't even have checked it out. Like you said, Tommy, I think you got this thing about Dr. Fauci wrong. He did see a patient and send me one of those bullshit articles about him fucking doing the rounds while there's a bunch of cameras around. I probably would have fell for it and looked at it. Sorry, I got that wrong. I'll fix it in the show. But I was right. 1968, medical school, right into government. Fucking bureaucrat. Call me a fucking liar. I mean, Jesus Christ. What like, seriously, you guys, you fucking partisan fucking, you're a partisan hack, and you don't even have a platform or a show or anything. You have nothing, like nothing at all. So what good, what do I get out about being about a part of the right-wing cabal? The worst thing I could do is get something wrong. I've got no skin in the motherfucking, the establishment political game. None. Zero. Zip. Nothing. I don't fucking care. I'm just going to tell you. So at worst, I'd get something wrong. And by the way, I didn't get this wrong. I got it right. Yeah, you could probably have some kind of fucking semantic debate with me, whether he's seen a patient or having a bunch of cameras around him equates to seeing patient. But he never fucking had a practice like that, and he went right to the government, exactly what I said, and if I got it wrong, I said so.
This is the almighty infinite, independent excellence, devil fighting, rebel titan, weed smoking alchemist, fake identities, okay, you cool with Jason Bourne, running with these Wolverines, okay, you about to catch a storm. I ain't never been a liar, got tired of niggas playing me. Head in my legs like she bout to catch a pedigree. Chi-town to King's home, slapping fives, black stones, 6 mile to danger zones. Bullets look like waffle cones. Folk affiliated to evolution of Machiavelli. Don't make me lead them eagles to you like I'm Chip Kelly.
Punk ass politicians, go worship government, you fucking slaves.
Hard to breathe. Here's a headline.
Bye. I'm done with you. God. Bye. Oh.